Hello everyone, Dr. Brian Scott with you again this morning, or this evening as the case may be. We're looking at the insight to end times. Where are we on God's timetable of events on this earth? If you have your Bibles, turn with me to 2 Timothy chapter 3. We're looking at a warning that Paul sent Timothy when he was pastoring the church in Ephesus. He said, in the last days, perilous times will come. And then he began to describe the symptoms and the signs of this perilous time. We've looked at most of the first items in verse 3, and we're moving into verse 4. This is item number 16 on the list. It's called heady or headiness. That's kind of a strange term in the scriptures, but it really refers to emotional intolerance. This word means a person who is violent and given to emotional intolerance or intemperance. In other words, they have no self-control. We are seeing more and more of this in our society today, people losing their tempers. It's become very pronounced because of the pandemic. But when you look at what kids are watching, as for instance, and what kind of video games they're playing games that are very violent and have a lot of killing involved. And as a result, we're seeing violent behavior coming into our schools, into our classrooms, into our society. We're seeing violent shootings. We're seeing mass murders. We're hearing about them almost every weekend. It's becoming a very strong sign of these last days and the perilous times that we're referring to. The violence in Rome when Paul wrote this was extreme. They had great contests in the Colosseum where they would pit one man against another man, and they would fight to the death. And the type of fighting, the type of wrestling, the type of martial arts that they followed were very, very violent, very, very destructive, and the people loved it. They cheered it and they enjoyed it. Well, things haven't changed a lot since that time frame. We're into a time frame now where we have more violence in our society than we've ever had before. And when people look back at our society in this 21st century, they're going to see the most advanced, most sophisticated, most technologically advanced civilization that's ever existed, and yet we're one of the most violent, one of the most vicious situations. Our kids, our teenagers, even we as adults, we're watching more violence on television, over the internet, and so on. So what's happened? We have become heady and headstrong, given over to emotional intolerance. It's everywhere. We don't know how to deal with it. We don't know how to solve it. They decide to take away guns or ban guns or limit guns, and it doesn't change it because it's a sign of the end times. These are demonic activities, and we need to get our head wrapped around them and realize we're not going to solve things in the natural. We have to solve it with the help of God. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow. We're going to continue our study. It's going to be very good. Until then, be blessed. Thanks.